Okay, so a linear equation is an equation in which the variables will be having, or the maximum power of a variable, of any variable in an equation, will be equal to 1. Okay, so maximum power, or power means, you know, right? So maximum power or exponent will be either 0 or 1, not 2, not 3. See, if it is 2, you know one of the forms of equation is this: ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. What is an equation?
Yeah.
Equation is an expression which has a equal to sign, right?
Yeah.
The one which is on the left hand side is called LHS of the equation. The one on the right hand side is called RHS of the equation. Now that is equation. Equation must have this equal to sign. Now in an equation, if the maximum power is 2, this is called quadratic equation. Have you heard of quadratic equation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And if an equation is there in which the maximum power of the variables, there must be at least two variables, for example this x and y, and the maximum power of those variables can be 1. So it can be 0 or it can be 1. It cannot be even minus 1. It has to be 0 or 1. And if it is like that, then equation is called a linear equation. So what should be the form of equation? Ax plus by is equals to c, something like this. Then that is called a linear equation. Now, why this is called a linear equation? So we'll take one example of such an equation. So for example, 2x plus y is equals to 5. Let's suppose this is an example of a linear equation. Now think about this. What all points will satisfy this equation? That means what all values of x and y will satisfy this equation. For example, if I take x is equals to some value, then what will be the value of y? You can find that. That means those two will satisfy it. So if x is equals to 0, y should be equal to,
5.
if x is 1, y,
3.
correct. If x is 2, then y,
1.
1,
1.
right? So you can see this, this is how x and y will vary. And now if you draw a graph, so what all points will be there? 0 comma 5, 1 comma 3,
1
and
comma
2
3 to
comma
1 1. Yeah.
So 0 comma 5 will be, say, somewhere over here. Say this is 0 comma 5. You can try it on proper graph paper and you will understand this. That this is point 0 comma 5. Then, sorry, x is 0, y is 5, right? That is wrong. 0 is here, so 0 comma 5. Let's say it is somewhere over here. So that is 0 comma 5. And so that is first point. Then you have 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3 will be, let's say if this is 1, somewhere over here there will be 2. So 1 comma 3 will be here.
So it'll be a little higher.
Okay, and 2 comma 1 will be somewhere over here. So this is how, now if you have proper graph paper, you can actually do it uh, with proper scale and all, and you will find that when you join these points, when they are joined, they form a straight line. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So you can actually see it practically. You can do it on your graph paper and you will see this. For example, if this is the equation, this will be the graph. So every linear equation, every such equation where the power of x and y is 1 will have a linear graph associated with it. And that's why such equations are called linear equations. So I'm leaving this activity to you, for you to do this, to write any random linear equation and see what happens, right? So this is that linear equation. Now, suppose the next thing is inequality. Have you heard of this term, inequality?
Yeah.
So obviously, if in the expression instead of equal to, if the sign is
Greater
less
than
than or
less
greater
than.
than or less than equal to or greater than equal to,
Yeah.
such an expression will be called inequality, right? So let us say the same, let us take same thing, that is 2x plus y. Instead of equal to 5, let's say greater than 5, right? And another inequality from same line, let's say 2x plus y is less than 5. So we have two inequalities here. If you are going to replace the inequality sign, that is less than or greater than sign, with equal to sign, you will get the same graph as we have got above, right? So graph will be
Hmm.
same. Let's say this is the graph for both the cases. But now that is done. Now, when this says 2x plus y should be greater than 5, this one, the first one. So here 2x plus y has to be greater than y. That means if you take a particular value of x and y, for example, if I move up, say for example, some point here, this point will be nothing but 1 comma 5,
Yeah.
right? And somewhere over here, there will be some other point. Let's say this is 1 comma 1.
Yeah.
Let's say these are the 2 points. Now, if you substitute 1 comma 5 in this inequality or 1 comma 1 in this inequality, only one of them will satisfy this inequality. Let's try to do that. So the inequality is 2x plus y is greater than 5. If I substitute 1 comma 5, that is x equals to 1 and y is equals to
That'll
5.
satisfy the inequality.
So yeah, that will be 2 into 1 plus 5. So will it be greater than 5 or not? Answer is
Yeah,
no.
it will.
But what about 1 comma 1? So
It would
2
satisfy.
to 1 plus 1, that will be actually 3, and that won't be greater than 5. Actually, if you take any point on below this line, below this green line, if you take any point, that won't satisfy this inequality. That means this inequality holds true for, I mean, all the points which are in this region. Do you agree? You take any other
Yeah.
random point. You take any other random point. Let's say somewhere over here there will be 5 comma 5. You substitute 5 comma 5, it will satisfy. But you take a point here, let's say 0 comma 0. This 0 comma 0 will not satisfy. Did you understand? So that means
Yes, I understood.
corresponding to this inequality, this is the region. So when you have an equation, you have a straight line. But when you have an inequality, you don't have just one straight line. You actually have a region, right? So anything above this line in this region will be representing the first inequality, and everything below this, like this, that will represent the second
Second
inequality,
inequality. Yeah.
right? So it's very simple. It is greater than, sorry, here you can see it is, the sign is greater than. So because it was greater than, it is above the line. Here it is less than, it is below the line. Any doubt in that?
No, sir.
Right. So these are the two prerequisites which we should know, that how to draw the line and how to shade or how to find out the area or the region, which is, we will say that, which is a feasible region. Feasible region means the region in which the points will satisfy the given inequality. So that is the feasible and infeasible region. Okay, now that is done. Next is, what is the use of this? So use of this is to solve some problems where you have to find the optimal solutions from those minimum solutions. Optimal solutions from those feasible solutions. You know, the feasible solutions will come from feasible region. Out of those feasible region or those feasible solutions, which one is the optimal thing? That is what we have to find, or that is what we have to determine. That's what we do here. So let's solve a problem based on this. That will actually explain you all the things or all the concepts related to this. Okay, now we will take or why or how this comes into picture, or how you are going to use it. What is the practical application of this? Let's see that first. So say, for example, in the scenarios in which it is used, right? So we'll come to that. So first thing is, we should be able to form these inequalities, or it should be given to us. So first, you must have these inequalities. So inequalities should be given to you, or you will have to form, right? So that is the first step here. And the second step is optimize those, or find the optimal solution. And obviously in between that, you will have, in order to find optimal solution, what you have to do, you have to draw a graph. Then you have to find the feasible region.
So to do that, you convert the inequality into a linear equation, right?
Yes. So inequality means what? First, you have to find the equation. You have to draw the line, and then as per the inequality, you have to select the feasible region.
No, sir, but the feasible region is based on the linear equation, right? You
Yes.
got those points through doing a 2x plus y is equal to 5, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So we do that first.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you extract that linear equation from that. From that, you draw the line, and after you have drawn the line, you draw the, or you find the feasible region.
Yeah.
And you will have multiple inequalities. So multiple inequalities will lead to multiple feasible regions, not reasons, it is regions. And out of those multiple feasible region, obviously there will be a intersection or common feasible region from which you have to pick the optimal solution. So we'll see now how to do that. Right? Optimal is not always maximum. Optimal is sometimes maximum, sometimes minimum. For example, if you are running a business, right? So suppose you are running a business of toys. So in order to produce toys, in order to manufacture toys, first you will have to procure the raw material. There will be some manufacturing cost involved. There will be some marketing cost involved. So these are the costs which you will have to bear. And then you are selling it. Now, if you want to optimize your profit, your cost should be minimum and your selling price should be maximum. Right?
Yeah.
Understood? So optimal solution doesn't always mean maximum. As in this case, you see, you minimize your costs, you will have more chances of making profit. You maximize your selling price, you will have more chances of getting profit, or you will have more scope of having or making profit, right? So we will see that only one by one. We'll see that step by step. So the first thing, let's say here you have a toy manufacturing company, right? And you manufacture two types of dolls, a basic version. So there are two types of toys. One basic version doll, let's say that is A, and the second one is advanced, or you say deluxe, anything like that. And let's say that model is B. So you develop or you manufacture two types of dolls, A type and B type. Done. Each doll of type B takes twice as long to produce as one of type A. That means the time taken for B and time taken for A, if you compare these two, then time taken by, what is that? Time taken by B is twice
TA is
as
2
long.
TB.
So,
TB is equal to 2 TA.
right? So that is one thing. Okay. Next, the company would have time to make a maximum of 2000 per day. That is, your company's capacity is to produce 2000 toys per day if it produces only the basic version. So if it produces basic version, how many toys it can produce? 2000
2000.
per day. And that is if it produces only basic, right? Okay. And the supply of plastic is sufficient to produce $1,500 per day. The raw material, right? Raw material is sufficient for only 1,500 toys per day, right? That means
Yeah.
both A and B combined, it can give you only 1,500 toys. The deluxe version requires a fancy dress, of which there are only 600 per day available, right? That means now there is a restriction on deluxe because it requires a particular dress, and that dress is available only 600 per day. That is the availability of dress. Now, if the company makes profit of rupees 3 on and rupees 5 per doll respectively, that is the profit on A, that is basic, is rupees 3 per doll, and profit on B is rupees 5 per doll. Right? Now, how many of each should be produced per day in order to maximize profit? Did you understand the application part? That means the problem only, not the solution, not how to solve it, but the problem statement. These are nothing but the restrictions which are given to you, that it produces two types of toys, basic and deluxe. The time taken to produce one deluxe toy is twice as the time taken to produce a basic toy. The profit on A is 3 rupees per doll, profit on B is 5 rupees per doll. Maximum it can produce, the raw material which is given to it, or the supply of raw material is sufficient only for 1500 toys, which includes both A and B. So that is the raw material supply. And if it produces only basic, it can produce only 2000 per day, but the supply is of only 1500. Are you understanding that?
Yeah.
Right? And another restriction is what? The dress supply, which is used in deluxe toys, that is available, or the availability of that per day is only 600. So every data which you see here, every data which is written on your screen right now, it puts a restriction on, or some type of restriction on the production of toys, right? For example, you cannot produce more than 600 deluxe toys. Agree?
Yeah.
Out of all these data which is available, one decision I can make, or one conclusion I can make, that I cannot have more than 600 deluxe toys. That is not feasible. Similarly, I cannot have,
Can't have more than 1500 toys.
yes, so even that 2000 per day of basic, even that is a upper limit, which is not achievable. 2000 per day, that is something which is now useless for me, that data, right? Because total raw material is available only for 1500 toys. So these are the things. Now, if you don't take all of these into consideration, just the profit, that profit on B is 5 and profit on A is 3, then a common man without knowledge of all these things, that all these things also matter, will simply say that, okay, produce only type B toys, right? So maximum type B toys he can produce is 600 per day. 600
600.
into 5, the total profit will be 3000, that is 3,000 rupees per day will be the profit, right? But is that optimal? That is what we have to
No.
find here,
Oh,
because the number of toys, if you increase the number of toys, then that will also, because see, 600 toys is what you can make, but the capacity is 1500. That means you can still make 900 toys of
yeah.
type, and those 900 will give you
1800. So
9 into 3, 2700.
4,800. 4,800 rupees is the profit.
Okay, so based on that, we will have to form uh, few inequalities here. So this is right now what we are trying is, we are giving our we are just thinking out loud without any proper format, without any proper framework, right? So LPP gives you that framework, that how to solve this. So first you have to do is, you will be producing few toys of variety X and few toys of variety B, right? Let us say that X dolls of type A and Y dolls of type B is produced per day, right? So let's say the number of toys of A and B which we produce daily is X and Y. That is done. Now, if that is the case, what is the profit on A? 3 per toy.
3x.
So it will be 3x, and this will be 5y. So now what is the profit?
3x plus 5y.
Sorry, 3x plus 5y. So this is the profit. And now this is that relation, or this is that expression which we have to maximize, because we want maximum profit, right? So that is the maximization which we want to do. So we have to have maximum value for this. That is what optimal solution for us will be. Now each doll of type of type B. Now let's take data one by one. First, let's come to this time. So time, we know that time taken by B is twice the time taken by A. So therefore,
Yeah.
the total time taken to produce X dolls of A and Y dolls of type B will be what? The total time taken will be what? X dolls you are making of type A. So that is X, and plus 2 times, or whatever time you have taken in X, you will take twice of that for Y. So this is the total time, right? The
Yeah.
total, and in this total time, the company has the time to make a maximum 2000 dolls per day. So by using this time, it can produce only 2000 per day. That means whatever this number is, this number has to be less than or equal to 2000. Agree?
Yeah.
Not confused, right?
No, sir, I understood.
Okay. So time taken by X will be half of time taken by Y, or time taken by B will be twice of time taken by this. The maximum capacity is 2000 per day. So that is what we have written here, that this thing can be maximum 2000. It has to be less than or equal to 2000. So that is the maximum capacity. Based on that we have a we have an inequality here. So if you see, this is actually an inequality, because there is an less than equal to sign. So that is the first inequality which we have got. Second is what? Second restriction will be due to, so we have seen time, we have seen, I mean, these two things, which is for time and capacity. The next thing is the raw material. Raw material is also going to put some restriction that it can be only 1500. That means what? That means this x plus y will be less than equal to 1500, because x is number of A and y is number of B. This total can be maximum 1500. So do you understand this, that this is the
Yeah.
next equality? Okay. Next, deluxe can be made only 600 in one day maximum. So that means you have a third inequality, that is y will be less than or
Lesser than
equal
equal
to
to 600.
600, sorry, yes, right? So these are the inequalities, three different inequalities representing three different restrictions. So what are these inequalities representing? They are representing the situation, the scenario, the restrictions. These are represented by these inequalities. Obviously, there is one more which is not mentioned, but obviously this x has to be greater than equal to 0 and y also has to be greater than equal to 0.
Yeah.
X and y are number of toys, so it has to be greater than or equal to 0. So in total, now you can list down all the inequalities which you have. So this problem becomes a linear programming problem. A linear programming problem will have two parts. One, the expression which you have to maximize or minimize or simply optimize. So that expression is what the you have to actually, that this is how you are going to write the problem. So you have to maximize z, which is equal to profit. What is profit? Profit is 3x plus 5y. So that is the profit. This is the thing which you have to maximize. The second part is the constraints, the restrictions, and these inequalities are nothing but your constraints. So what are they? They are the first one, or you can see that it is, first one is what? X plus 2y is,
Greater than equal to 2000. Lesser than equal to 2000.
yes, and x plus y is less than equals to 1500 or 1500. Y is less than equal to 600 and x is greater than equal to 0 and y is greater than equal to 0. Clear? So these are the constraints. Now this is what can be given directly to you when you have to solve a linear programming, right, problem, or you may have to derive these things just like we did right now.
Yeah.
So based on the problems, I mean, it can be a word problem. Most of the times it will be like that. And in the project, we have to do the same thing. So this is what we have to do. So as you can see here, based on the statements, based on the conditions which are given, the restrictions which are given, we have formed this. Now, the next thing is to solve this problem, right? How to solve this problem? It's very easy. It's not that difficult. You have all these points, all these inequalities. You have to now draw these inequalities, right? And now when you will draw these inequalities, these are nothing but straight lines. You see the maximum power of x and y in all those expression is what? It is 1
1 or 0.
or 0. So it is all of them. If you replace the inequality sign with equality or equal to, it will become a linear equation. So that means all these will be lines, and some of them may be parallel, some of them, I mean, pair of them may be perpendicular. So in any case, there are chances that they will intersect, right? And when two lines intersect, so for example, you have 3x plus y is equals to 5. Let's say this is an example. 3x plus 2y, 3x plus y, or 2y is equals to 5, and 4x plus y is equals to 5. right? So are these two different straight lines or not?
Yeah.
Right? So
Oh, no. Yeah.
there are two different straight lines, right? Now, if
Mm.
there are two different straight lines, there is a chance that they will intersect. If they are not parallel, they will intersect. And if they will intersect, we will have to find this point of intersection. And this point of intersection, let's say P, is nothing but the solution of these two linear equations. You know how to solve the linear equations?
Yeah.
These two equations. So those two equations will be nothing but the point of intersection. Even you are aware of that? You must have done it,
Yeah, sir. I know, sir. This I
right?
know.
So that means if you solve it, uh, how can you solve it? You can multiply the second one by 2. So you will get
Yeah.
8 plus 2y
8x plus 2y.
equals to 10. Now you subtract the first one from the second one.
Yeah.
So you will get 5x is equals to 5. That means x is equals to 1
X is
and
1.
even y will be equal to 1.
Yeah.
That means this point of intersection is 1 comma 1.
1, 1. Yeah. Yes, sir. I know this.
Precision. Okay. Then solving this linear programming problem is not that difficult, right? Let's
Yeah.
see how to do that. So in order to solve these problems, we have to draw the graph. So let me yeah. So I'll directly take a question in which this equation is directly given, right? Let's say equation means the inequalities are directly given. Okay. Let's say the expression which we have to maximize is z equals to 5x plus 3y. So that is the thing which we have to maximize. And the restrictions which are given to us are what? First, that this 3x plus 5y is less than equal to 15. Next one is 5x plus 2y is less than equal to 10. And the last one, x and y both are greater than equal to 0. So you have to
Yeah.
convert these inequalities into equations first, as you said, you already told that, right? So when you do that, you will have the, I mean, you will be able to find the points where they intersect. So let's do that. And then we will have to maximize. So we will do that as well. So first thing is what? You may have to draw the lines. So you can see x and y is greater than 0. That means these lines will be anywhere, but we have to take only this region because here x is greater than 0 and that is in the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant itself y is greater than 0, right? This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So in this first quadrant, you take any point in this first quadrant, there x and y will be greater than 0. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we don't represent that by shading anything here right now because we will have two more equations we have here. So one equation is 3x plus 5y is equals to 15. So let's take that. Now how to draw the line? It's very simple. You take x equals to 0 and see what will be the value of 5, sorry, y. So y will be equals to
3.
what? 3.
3.
Similarly, you take y equals to 0 and what will be x value? 5.
5. Yeah.
So these two are the points. On which line? On this line. That is 3x plus 5y is equals to 15. So this 3x plus 5y is equals to 15 will be represented by a straight line which will pass through 0 comma 3, let's say here, let's say somewhere over here is 0 comma 3. Obviously when you will be drawing it on graph, it will be with proper scale and
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
right? So this is point 0 comma 3. And similarly, you will also have 5 comma 0. So let's say this is 5 comma 0. So you have this straight line which is passing through these 2 points.
So we join them.
Yes. This is the straight line. Now we will go to the inequality. Inequality says this 3x plus 5y should be less than
Greater
15.
than equal. Less than equal. So it
Less
should be
than-
below the.
should be below, right? Now we have our experience says that it will be below, but you should always verify that. It's very easy to verify. This is 0 comma 0. Just check whether it satisfies that or not. So you substitute 0 comma 0 there, it will be less than 15. So that means this 0 comma 0 satisfies that. That means the region should be below this, right? So it should be below this. Let's just mark only this so that later we will mark the actual region. Is that clear? It has to be below this. Second equation is this. Come to the second equation. It is 5x plus 2y less than equal to 10.
So it's the same thing. 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 2.
0, 5
2, 0, 2, 0, 2,
and
0.
2, 0. Correct. So 2, 0 will be somewhere over here. Let's say this is somewhere over here. Let's say this is 2 comma 0. X is 2, y is 0. And somewhere over here, let's say this is 0 comma 5. Right? So now if you join these, this is how it may look like. Correct?
And then you get the point of intersection.
We'll get that. But before that, the region. It says 5x plus 2y should be less than 10. That means here also you have to find the region which is below this. Right? Now here,
Yeah.
how can you say whether it is below? Because here it is more right and left, not top and bottom. If you see, it is more right and left. This is the right side of the line. This is the left side of the line. So in any case, if you get confused, then what you have to do, you have 0 comma 0. You think about that, you put that 0 comma 0 in that equation. If you put 0 comma 0, it is less than 10. So that means what? Now if you take all these things into consideration, will this point be part of the region which satisfy all these 3
No,
restriction? This part,
no,
this part,
no.
which is the only feasible region.
Yeah.
And in this feasible region, you have 4 optimal points. Because it is a quadrilateral, there will be 4 vertices, and you have 4 optimal points. What are those optimal points? This is one, not
0,
optimal.
3.
These are not optimal,
No.
but these are the extreme points.
Point of intersection. Yes, I got it.
So now you have to find the point of intersection of what? Of the lines which are, basically you have to find this point, right? This point you have to find. What is this point? So this point is nothing but point of intersection of these 2 lines. Which 2 lines? 3x plus 5y is equals to 15 and 5x plus 2y is equals to 10. We find the point of intersection of these 2. If you find that, you will get that in the point of intersection is 20 by 19, and that is for x, and y is 45 by 19. So that means this point of intersection is what? It is 20 by 19, comma 45 by 19. Is that clear?
Yeah.
How many points do you have now? Total 4 points. Clear? And what is the expression which you have to maximize? This is the expression which you have to maximize. So now what you are going to do is, you are going to plot the points. I mean, you are going to make a table where you will have those points, and then the expression, the value of that expression, that is z, which is 5x plus 3y. So it is a lengthy process, but it is very simple thing. You don't have
Yeah,
to
it's
do,
easy.
right? You don't have to do any complex calculations here. So just substitute the points. For example, in the first I'll take 0, 0. Obviously, if it is 0, 0, z will be equals to 0. Done. Second point is what? Let's say 0, 3. So if I substitute 0, 3, I'll get 5 into 0 plus 3 into 3, that is 9. Next, let's take another extreme point, that is 2, 0. If I take 2, 0, it will be 5 into 2, 10 plus 3 into 0, 10. Are you understanding?
Yeah, yes, I understood.
What is left now? 20 by
The point of intersection.
45 by 19. Let's see what do we get here. So you will get 5 into 20 by 19 plus 3 into 45 by 19.
So you get
So
100 plus I don't know.
100 plus 45 into 3. 45 into 3 is 135. Right?
So
So that is
235 by 90.
235 divided by 19. So that is the value here, 235 divided by 19. Now what do you have to find? You have to find this is the expression. You have to maximize it. That means you have to find those points where you will get the maximum value of this expression. So you have four critical points. Out of these four critical points, only one of them will be the optimal, that is maximum. Which one is the maximum?
So 235 by 19.
235 by 19. And where it is maximum? Here. That means it should produce x of this type and y, I mean y, sorry, of type A, there should be 20 by 19, and of type B, oh sorry, this is not that problem, but you understood, right? In that problem also, what you
Yeah.
have to do, you have to come to this step. After this step, you have to draw the graph. You have to find the point of intersection. You have to find all those corner points. These are nothing but the corner points. Once you have corner points, you find the value of that expression z, which you have to maximize or minimize. See, here we had to maximize, so our optimal solution was this. Sometimes you may have to minimize. For example, if it is cost, it has to be minimum. So in that case, this
Yeah.
will be the optimal solution.
Yeah, sir. I understood, sir.
Understood, right? It was easy.
Yeah, sir. It's actually easy.
Okay. So next we'll see the first in section A. We'll choose one. That is, what did I say? I think increasing and decreasing. So that I'll explain in the next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Meanwhile, on this, you can actually go through your textbook. You will find a problem based on this and try to solve that problem as your project, right? Because
Yes,
it's
I'll do that.
okay. Okay then. So that's all. Anything else you want to know?
No, sir.
Okay then. That's all.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.